Hello, my name is Chris, and I hope this video will offer you some peace, some hope, some understanding, and possibly change your perspective on life. It all began for me December 31st, 2010. When I went to bed that night, I was really anxious and really excited to bring in the new year, excited about changing my life, excited about releasing my psychological prison, excited about starting a new day. You know how the new year is always a sign of hope and always a sign that things can be renewed, that things can change. Well, that's not how the way I brought in the new year. I woke up in a hospital bed with a tube shoved down my throat, with needles coming out of both arms, with machines beeping around me, with family members standing around me with sad faces. Their faces shown looks of disappointment, looks of sadness, looks of loss. I didn't know how I got there, but I knew that it was something bad because my mother, my sister, and my Uncle Jeff were there. And I'd never been in the hospital prior to this for very long or for anything significant. So now that I was there, I knew that something bad had happened. They didn't really tell me what was going on until the doctors came in. I was in a coma for a day. I had had a seizure and split my head wide open, which caused them to have to rush me to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, I died. At least that's what I was told. And I was sitting in the room not knowing what was going on. I was confused. And it wasn't until the doctor came in that I was told that I had a brain tumor and that the brain tumor was cancerous. I was still in shock when he told me that. I don't think I really fully processed what that was and what would happen thereafter. The next day they did surgery. It took about 4 hours. Unfortunately, they wasn't able to get it all. They got about 80%. The other 20%, the doctor said it wasn't worth the risk of them diminishing my life, the quality of my life. They said that it could affect my motor skills, my walking, and my talking, and things of that nature. So he didn't feel like it was in the best interest of me to take that risk. Well, the plan of action after that was to follow up with MRIs every 90 days. That went on for about a year, and after the year they bumped it up to every 6 months. Until eventually, in the third year, I was told that something that no cancer patient wants to be told, that the tumor had begun growing back. And I remember sitting in the oncologist's office thinking, why? Why me? Why is this going on at this point in my life? I don't understand. I had been living for 3 years as if I didn't have any cancer, as if I were totally and completely healed. And now that they were telling me this, I was devastated. I was crushed, and I was hopeless. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I was terrified. I had 1,000 questions like, how much longer do I have to live? What type of treatment do I have to go through? Those questions and 1,000 other ones, as you guys who have cancer already know. Well, the oncologist wasn't 1,000% sure that it was tumor regrowth. It could have been scar tissue, so he referred me to the neurosurgeon. I met with the neurosurgeon, and he confirmed it as well, that it was tumor regrowth, and he felt like that we needed to do surgery immediately. I wasn't terrified of the surgery. I had been through it before. It was something that I knew I could complete and that I could go through. But then his plan of action after that was for me to start radiation and chemotherapy. And again, that terrified me. Again, that made me feel like I was going to a place that I had no knowledge of. I was entering into a world or arena that was dark, that there was no light, there was no hope, there was all these things that I had heard about it, that cancer and radiation and chemotherapy, and I was told that the radiation zaps kills all your cells, and that the chemotherapy was a poison they injected with you to kill all your cells, and that it got you really sick to the point where you could get pneumonia and all this other side effects that I wasn't ready for. However, I dug deep. However, I found peace and contentment with my situation. I was able to accept the fact that I had cancer. I was able to accept that I had to go through radiation, and I was able to accept that I was going to go through chemotherapy. It wasn't easy. I'm not sitting here telling you guys that cancer is okay. I'm not telling you that cancer is a part of life that everyone has to endure. I'm just telling you to look at circumstances, and I'm telling you to look at the way that you view life and change perspective. I just completed radiation last Friday. It didn't leave me unscarred. As you can see, it took all this hair right here. But I can say through all this that I was positive. Every time that I went down there to do the radiation treatments, I was happy. I smiled. I tried to make the best out of a bad situation. There was days that I didn't feel happy. There was days that I was irritable. There was days that I was difficult to be around. But nonetheless, I sucked it up and I made it through the 33 days of treatment. As far as what the treatment was like, they pin you down to a table with a mask where you can't move, and at first you have a lot of anxiety. I'm not claustrophobic, but I know that once I was chained down or pinned down to that table with that mask, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move my head like 1 millimeter either way. And it was scary. But like I said, I dug deep and I found peace. And I found understanding in my suffering. And I think that's what, as humans, that we need to do. We need to find meaning. We need to find purpose. And I think my meaning and my purpose is to reach out to others and to show them that life's not so bad that it can't be worse. I'm thankful that my cancer's not terminal. I'm thankful that that I don't have a prescribed amount of time to live. The doctors were able to get 100% of the tumor out this time. The radiation and chemotherapy was more for precautions. So I'm grateful for that. And I think that if you just change your attitude and change your perspective on the way that you view things, I think that life can be more simpler. I think that life can be more gratifying. I know for me, the way that I view each and every day is it's a blessing. It's the small things that are the most important. And that's what I find meaning in. And I think that if you look at that each day like that, and you have an attitude of gratitude, that you're thankful, that you have acceptance. Acceptance is another big one that will help you get through life. If you can accept your circumstances and accept what's going on, and just embrace it and make the most of it. Your life will be a lot more peaceful. I'd like to thank you guys for listening to me, and I hope that you find peace in your suffering, peace in whatever you're going through right now, and I pray that this video makes your life a little more easier. Thank you.